24th. And that's right, a little different look, a bit of a reveal. You can see my curtain in the background there. Exciting stuff. I am going to post the link to the video that I did a couple days ago about buying physical silver, how that's an amazing way to have a physical asset just in case, you know, maybe the fiat currencies around the world go, right? Anything is possible. And so if that were to happen, having physical assets could be good as opposed to money in the bank. So it's good to diversify, like in stocks in a long-term portfolio for long-term investing. It is good to have the ability to also diversify with cash, stocks, physical assets, real estate, silver, gold, all of that. Make sure that you are diversified. That's a great way to protect yourself. It's like, survival. If you ever did Outward Bound as a kid for camping, that teaches you survival. Well, this is survival in real life, right? Having diversification of assets, whether that is in gold, silver, physical money in your house, whatever it is, you have that ability with buying physical assets. All right, so let me get the chat up. And I'm going to be doing a special secret live stream later today. Some other important news as well. You've got both. Great, Rob. Yeah, there's the video for silver. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to put it in today's description down below. So bear with me 2 seconds. Video link for buying physical silver. Oops, I always forget on my Mac I can't do Control V. I have to hit paste from the menu. All right, there. Done and done. Everything is good. All right, are you guys ready for my new hair color? Silver at $17 an ounce when you bought it. That's awesome, Rob. All right, here we go. Here's the new hair color. It is a chocolate brown. So very soon, about 1 o'clock, I will also be doing another live video. So we'll check that out. But here is the latest. I got tired of magenta. It was fun. I wanted to always have magenta hair. Did that. Time for more of a real color. All right. So let's move on. We're going to, oh, you know what we did? Did you guys like it when I had the watch list up on the left? I was able to put it right here today, so I figured I wouldn't. So let's start with the SPY. SPY is having a major bounce right now, right? They are bouncing it up above my level for today. My trade idea that I shot out on Ticker Talker was above 389. Hey, look at that. We are now up at 390.77. Some weird things are happening in the dark pool world. As long as we stay below, well, we are above it. I was going to say 386. We are above that. So this is looking fairly strong right now with the massive volume that we had yesterday. So looking at that, then we have the Qs as well bouncing, and they're coming up. They are not quite as strong, which has been interesting because the tech stocks were fairly strong this entire time throughout COVID. And then we saw some money rotate over into the Russell as well. So be aware of that. Even though we had super high volume, we are in the middle of the day right now. We might see that this drops down as well. So just be aware. This could be kind of a little fake out. We did test a trend line on the Qs over here. Let's move it back. Also today at 3:30, I will be on Ticker Talker live stream, so check that out. Russell is surging higher today. Here's the volume weighted anchor price from yesterday. So we are well up above that. As long as we hold up above 220.77, would look at this being a long. Now we could come up and test up here again and reject it. We will see. We came down and hit the 21 EMA. You just bought a put on ES. All right, cool. And let's see. Diamonds are also bouncing. So they came and they tested this support. So we have this box and then we have this box, and we are surging higher from here. This could be a big squeeze continuation. I kind of wanted to talk a bit more about short squeezes today because there are two stocks that I'm really looking at for that short squeeze momentum likely to happen again. If you do follow me on Twitter, then you know that I was looking at ISUN and also at Gamestop today. They were not on my list, but I was looking at them. And let's check out gold. So gold is a little bit weaker today. It's still in that downward trend. I'm actually going to adjust this or draw a new trend line right here, right there. So you can see we tested that, right? We tested that trend line here. So watching this to see if we can break out, then I'm going to get rid of this one right here. Hold on. Let me just adjust the gold chart for a second here. Since we pulled back, oops, we'll just get rid of that one. Right? We're at another apex right here. I would measure that from here. More measuring it from here down. I would look at 164 to 176. So $12, which would put us pretty much at that 180 former resistance level. And I would look to see, hey, are we going to be able to break out on that for gold? Now let's check out the silver chart as well. Silver is nicely up there. Saw some interesting things on silver before. We can get rid of this one. I had this one in the past because when we had massive dark pool prints in the past, seeing prints on gold and silver almost every day means that they're just in a laying positions, but they're not done yet. So if you don't know what a dark pool print is, it's where the big major hedge funds place their trades. If you want to learn more about it, come over to thedarkpools.com. There's a free trading room. I do teach in the trading pit twice a week. In fact, teaching tomorrow and going over interactive brokers. We help people with their platforms as well as learning to trade. So we try to make it all encompassing, which is fun. And Mark has been there. I don't know if Mark is here today. Mark, he's been there. He's from England, and I don't see Jonathan here today from England as well. So looking for this, as long as we're holding this and we are holding above the volume weighted anchor price from the short squeeze created by Wall Street Bets, I am on board with the long here, right? We're following that 20 simple moving average. We have, this is the lowest low here. If we move that back, even over there, let's see, if we move it all the way down here, I would look for it to hold this level 2450 as support. Here we have the most recent low recently, and we are above that. So shorter term, I would watch for 2560. I might take some profit off, trim my position if we start to go below that, with a potential add down here at 2460. You can see that when we bounce down there, sure enough, we shot right back up. So watching for this continuation to the upside. The biggest volume we did have was when we reached the midline of this upward trend. Hey, ASIF, yep, changed it up again. I'm not one to necessarily sit still. I can't travel now, so I've been having fun with my hair and watching a lot of action movies. By the way, your niece Painting says she loves your book. Oh, thank you, Razi. Thank you, thank you. All right, so silver, we've got that there. Let's check out Apple as well. So Apple was super bearish, then we had big volume here. This is not looking super bullish, so I might take that as a caution on this major bounce on the SPY. Let's check out Microsoft as well. So the top holdings right now are not super strong, right? When we look at the SPY top holdings over here, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Tesla's up, Google's up 19 points, Tesla's up 30 points. Okay, it's 5%. Johnson & Johnson. So we are having some bounces, but the top ones, this is still like 25% of the S&P 500 valuation is down right now. So that leads me to be a little more cautious. This could pull back further. Maybe we're going to pull back down here, 222, maybe all the way back down here, 218.50 area. Come back and test it. You can see that's where we tested below before over here. Are we out of the woods yet? Julio, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about being out of the woods just yet on the market move. Let's also check out Amazon. So Amazon still looking bearish. Another C-suite member just stepped down. Does anyone else find that weird? I think that's kind of weird. Yes, Al, we'll look at Fox A and Pfizer. I'm really excited for the live stream later, so you guys will have to join me. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to tweet it out because I'm going to do it from my phone. So maybe if there's somebody out there that watches that can tweet it, because it's really exciting news. And on that note, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you do know when I go live. It's going to be cool. Part of the reason why I was also changing my hair color. I'm excited for it. Okay, so Facebook, we're in this wedge. We bounced off of the 200 EMA right here and 200 SMA, and we're getting stuck, right? So maybe it's going to sort of oscillate and coil through here and then aim to the downside. I don't know. I'm still feeling kind of bearish on the market, even though everything is bouncing at the moment. It feels like a dead cat bounce to me. Like Tesla, look. We could go all the way up to 800 and we're still in the negative, like in the momentum of that rollover. If we look at the SPY, we're above the 20. So, okay, that's not that negative. Not that one. I didn't want that. Qs, we're still negative. IWM, we're bullish, I think. Right now, we're still above those. And Dow Jones, we're definitely bullish. This is the strongest one right now, in my opinion. Never really had a super heavy sell-off. We did have that big volume right there yesterday. So keep that in mind. Just keep that on watch. Let's go back to the other list. All right. So on my list today, we've gone over the majors. Oshkosh Transportation. Yesterday, they said that they were canceling a contract with Workhorse, and so Workhorse dropped. And there was another one that ripped in relation. I don't remember which one it was, but they had the inverse reaction. So Workhorse crashed, the other one surged, and Oshkosh jumped yesterday, and now it's pulling back. So this offered a little bit of a long opportunity over here, early, but really not that much. Now we're just sort of trading inside that channel. Vuzi has big price movement yesterday. Big volume 2 days ago. We're just sort of going sideways. I think Vuzi has earnings. Yeah, Vuzi has earnings coming up on the 12th of March. So we have some time, 2 weeks away. So maybe they're going to run this up. This looks as if it could be setting up for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this a little correction here and we're continuing, or not sure? This might be setting up for a bit of a pullback. We're kind of going sideways over the past couple days, right? Maybe it's a little bit of a shoulder, head. Not sure. I would look at this above 21 or below 18. That's what I would look at, really. 21.50 above there or below 18 for the bigger momentum trade. All right, Tilray, the cannabis stocks today are definitely moving. Tilray was moving to the upside. I believe ACB as well was moving to the upside. I know Sundial had some activity today too. Yeah. What's another one, guys? I know hemp is a OTC that I have long term because I believe in hemp as an alternative resource. And this one has, you can see this is starting to have that curl up of momentum and potentially surge higher. Look at Boeing. Yeah, hold on. Let me add those over here. So we've got Pfizer. It's working today. So Pfizer, Fox A, NVOS. Yes, CGC. That was another one I was looking at. SPCS and CGC I'm going to do right now. I'll make sure those popped up. Okay. Why didn't SPCS, ASIF? I don't know. It's not one. So let's look at CGC at the same time. And then we're going to flip and I'll look at Gamestop and ISUN as well. And I'll tell you why I like ISUN as a long. I did also tweet about it, but yeah. So you can see this is hitting on the 5-minute chart, the 425 moving average, and look at how it acted as resistance. All right, so let's look at GameStop. I like GameStop for a potential squeeze. I did tweet this out above 47.47. That was the high here. And now it came back, tested that from above. So I'm just going to throw on a little yellow line right over here. Maybe it's not yellow. It's white right now. Let's put it as yellow. So that's what I'm looking at to hold as support. That also happens to be almost where the 50 simple moving average is right now. Here we can see big volume that came in right at 48.25, and then it looks like potential head and shoulders 48.94. You see we had big volume right there. That's a classic head and shoulders where you have big volume on the left shoulder ahead, then the resistance sets up and it's not able to necessarily break. Now if it breaks above 49.24 or 49.25, then squeeze will likely be on, because everybody is looking at this and saying, you know what, this is a classic head and shoulders. I'm going to get into the short side and I'm going to use this target from here at 49, from 50.50 to 47.50. We'll call it $3 to the downside. So I'd be looking at 44.50 as my potential target to the downside. But GameStop has slowly been having more volume come into it. Let's spread this out a little bit. So I'm seeing that it's almost like an inverted head and shoulders on the daily. And as long as it continues to really go up, I would look for this to break above 61, above that 50 simple moving average. And then to me, full on squeeze mode likely again for GameStop. And ISUN, somebody mentioned ISUN, or we looked at it over the weekend. And on the daily chart here, we looked at it over the weekend. I thought, you know what, this is a good one to watch. And here, this is the reason why, because we went and looked at, oops, let me move myself. There we go. So right here, that ISUN has 39.72% short interest. So this is the one that's reported every 2 weeks, and it's data that's a bit older. But look at the float. We have 1.7 million in the float. Yeah, we'll look at Ocgn, Mohammed, and only 5 in the outstanding shares. So I did the math, right? Let's do this. New little snip. All right, watch this. I like this so I can draw on the screen for you guys. Now I'm in the picture again. All right, putting myself back over here. So we have, what color am I? Blue. So we have 39% of the I did 1.59 because that's where I saw it before, is 858,000 shares that are short. So you have 85 people that buy 10,000 shares, done. 850 people that buy 1,000 shares, all these are being squeezed. There's 1.7 million overall in the float. So when we look at this, that's pretty influential, that so much of this, it's not going to take a lot. 8,500 people buy 100 shares. It squeezes. 85,000 people all buy 10 shares. This is the same sort of scenario that happened with GameStop. You know, if Wall Street Bets put this out to his 3 million followers and said, hey, everybody go out there and buy 1 share, then this would just go exponential even more than GameStop. We could see it at like $200, $300, $400 from 10, where is it now? $15. Full disclaimer, I did get in earlier this morning at 1340 pre-market because I saw the reversal pattern. That's why I got into this. I got into the reversal pattern down here. Oh my goodness, hold on 2 seconds. We've got another person in the background and there we go. Okay, so this is a classic reversal pattern right here on a chart. So it pays to know reversal patterns. And also, hey, here we have the short float, short interest, and low float. This is the combination that can create those crazy moves in stocks. I like this little, I put myself at the beach. We're going to be at the beach until the 26th until Friday, because last year I was at the beach, so that's why we're at the beach today. So this one honestly could continue. It looks like somebody bought in a bunch right here on this candlestick. Let's see, what was that volume? There has not been a lot of volume, no big prints that I've seen. 51,000 shares. Let me just check over here to see. It says, ah, snap. Just a second while that relogs in for me. So GameStop, a lot of times, also, well, let's do this. Let's draw a little trend line over here. Right there. So we might find a bit of resistance. Hey, pretty much where we found a bit of resistance, right? 1527 because of this downward trend. And this is also a green energy stock. Had its IPO back here, might find some resistance roughly at that 20 simple moving average as well. But if all of those low floaters got in on this, MDMA, or okay, didn't know that he likes trading. All right, we'll add MDMA over here, Ocgn, and MDMA. MDMA? It isn't one. La Femme. MDMA or MDNA? Medicina? Is that it? I'm gonna guess that this is it. Likely a low float being a pharmaceutical company. I'm excited to dry my hair and see the real color that I just changed it to. All right, so that's why I like ISUN. Let's continue back over to the list. So we had GME today. GME has earnings tomorrow. So be careful with that. Look, they brought it down, and or no, GME is, yeah, it's after tomorrow, right? Oh no, they actually announced it today. Huh? I thought it was after the bell today. Okay, my bad. So GME bounced. Much like the market, we'll likely see that more stocks are starting to bounce. All of the greens were green today. Continuation. Arlo, a bit pullback here. They had earnings as well yesterday after the bell. And doesn't look like the market really liked it. Dropped down and filling that gap. You see here? Many times computers, traders like to fill the gap to the downside. All right, Workhorse, they lost that contract. Crazy move to the downside. Hey, look at where it stopped. You guys see that? The 425 EMA, right? And we have earnings coming up. Maybe they're going to say, yes, even though we lost the contract, it's still a great company, and this is going to the moon, right? Maybe they dropped it on purpose, and that was where everybody had their buy orders in. When you have a flash crash and all of a sudden it stops, many times that's where the buyers are stepping in. Maybe that's where the institutional investors said, I'm going to buy here. I've found more times than not, when it surges up and it pulls back, when it bounces off of that 425, it tends to be fairly strong. But the downward momentum was still there, so had it as a potential short, and it did offer a little short opportunity down to 14 earlier today, 50 cents. Square today also had earnings, big drop right at open, pulled back down to 232, and we hit a trend line from the past, and it bounced, also hitting the 50 simple moving average right there. Baidu, another one that had big drop this morning. Ocgn will go to the moon in March. Okay, why is that, Mohammed, in your opinion? So here we had a drop, 8 points on Baidu earlier. Uber, continuation after the news of being treated as employees in Britain. But it didn't really move outside of my levels that I was watching today for bull or bear. I did go fairly wide because it had such a crazy day yesterday. That's what I was looking at, the low of yesterday as the potential short. If we could go below there, yes, likely a big continuation drop to the downside. Baba today, wah, wah. Oh, I've got my fibs on here on the left. This broke down early and then pretty much used this level as a resistance as well as that 200 simple moving average. Now the faster moving averages are crossing over the slower ones. It's not looking good for Baba. This might drop down further. We are hitting the volume weighted average price, anchored price. Let's put it all the way back here to the low. That's where we bounced yesterday. So I'd look to see if we're able to come back down to 242.33. I don't know why it's not on this chart over here. Let's see if I sync it. Phase 3. You know what? I am very weary of pharmaceuticals. My dad likes to trade them. As he is a doctor, he knows a little bit more about medicine than I do, so that's all good for him. But I saw him in Novavax from 14 to 30 cents and then up to 200. So those can have wild and crazy rides, definitely. But another one that I am in a super penny stock. If you like them, Mohammed, I am in Quanta. Looking for this to break out. It did test. I got an alert today. Hey, this is testing the breakout zone right here. And this one has, you should do a little research on it, MedOlife. It has scorpion vaccine, not vaccines, but scorpion shots to help to cure cancer that work for COVID patients as well. So that's why. What company was the only one that spiked 5,000%? You like Amarin as a medical stock? Yeah, I have a little, like I have hemp and I have Quanta just sitting there patiently. If they run, great. If they don't, great. It's just plain money. Yeah, do your research. With everything, do your research, right? Okay, so gone through my list. Let's check out Pfizer. Let's look at it on the daily chart here. Can you check the OCGN? Yeah, will do. I'm going to add it over here. Add it to my list. I go in order as people call them out, Mohammed. So, thanks. All right. So we want to go to the 24-hour chart here. Novavax, NVAX. Yeah, ASIF is the ticker. So Pfizer's not looking super pretty over here. Let's even look at. Let's look at it on the weekly. I feel like this weekly is going to be clearer. So Pfizer on the weekly has this that I'm seeing, more right here. Longer term, we had a little quick run up, but now we're coming back down. We're in a descending wedge on the weekly chart. If this breaks, I would watch for a move down to 32.60. You can see that's the 425 on the weekly. And we had the big drop down that was January, February, March. If we do this, oops, it's all good. Right here, it's not looking too pretty, right? Let's move this one. Let's get rid of this. And let's do this. This is more shorter term, crazy trend that if this broke up above here, which is pretty much the 4 EMA. So let's make this one a different color. Ooh, they changed this up here. I like this. So that's more shorter term. So let's go to the 24-hour chart again. And Mohammed, this is TradingView. You can use it for free. The link is down below if you want to check it out. You can use this for free. They have an app for your phone. I do trade away from my desk, like while I was doing my hair this morning. I like to do my hair because I find going to a salon is a waste of time when I can do other things. Anyone else having a problem with volume? I don't think there's a problem, John. I think it's you. Anyone else having a problem with volume? Let's see. Anyone else having volume issues? No? Okay. Hair or stock? No issue with volume. Okay, cool, guys. Thanks. So it's John H. There you go. Awesome, guys. Thanks. It's the easiest way. See if anybody else is having the issue. So Pfizer, maybe we're going to come back down and it'll test down here. That was a pretty steep trend line. This was an old one. This is set up from up here. So let's get rid of that one. And this is that shorter term. You can see that it's been holding ever since back here, since the 11th of January. Okay, it's good. All right. Glad you got it fixed. So as long as it stays below this trend line, bearish on it, right? The biggest volume right here was hitting this trend line, the longer term trend line. It broke below that big volume candlestick from earnings. not looking too pretty. So thinking as long as it's below this orange trend line, bearish on the name. Okay, Fox A. Let's look at this. So Fox A, we're on the 24-hour chart. Looks like it's had resistance right around the $35 mark. And, oh, look, I already had some trend lines there. So we have this over here. It just sort of, it tested here, pulled back, ran up, pulled back, ran up, pulled back to the trend line here, surged higher. So it's broken out from here. So let's put this up here and here, right? So we can always adjust and reevaluate. So this could come back down to the 425. It could come back down to 31.36 and then surge up higher. It could go from here and test that 35 level as well. This trend line is not too steep, so that could definitely happen as well. Let's move it over so you guys can see the volume. Always pay attention to the volume. We had this crazy volume right here. If it breaks above 35.50, definitely bullish on the name for Fox A. I would put a alert right there. NVOS, Novos Integrated Systems. So let's go to a 5-minute chart on this. Looks like a low float. Let's check and see. 8.6 million. So yeah, had a big run from here until 5. Crazy run pre-market. So likely people were watching it. This is a bit of a dead cat bounce, right? What was the news on Novos? I don't know why. What is the news? It was definitely a short squeeze. I mean, you can see that. So this is hitting resistance over here. This was resistance in the past, or support that became resistance again. And now it's rejecting it. And when we look and we pull this up, where's the super big volume? Breakout right here. Once it broke out from there, it shot up, we hit this point, and now it's pulling back down. Is the 200 simple moving average going to hold? I also like the 15-minute. Wow, guys, do you see where that bounced? 425. I don't make this stuff up, right? It's also the 200 there, so both of those. And then it hit the 50. I'm telling you, 250 and 20 on your 15-minute chart. Important. Simples. All right. You see, bounce 200, hit the 50, pulled back, and below the 20, pulled back. Where are we going? Maybe we're going to come back down to 10 and then bounce up again. We'll see. All right. Next one, OCGN. All right. So OCGN, I know someone else that's been watching this and was in it, and then all of a sudden it exploded. All right, let's look at this on the 24-hour chart. Okay, so strong resistance at 11 right here. And you can see this support resistance right here, 850 area. Pulled back, bounced. Starting to curl over. Let's do this. Let's show you guys that we're starting to get a short sign. Short signal right there. So it'd be interesting to see where we are. If this personally went below 791, the 21 EMA, I would potentially trim everything except my original investment if I still had a lot left in it. But that's where I think personally on it, because I will leave my initial investment. Let's check BitW today. This is one that I have my initial investment still held in it. Yeah, it's just sort of hanging out, still moving to the upside. It was me. What was you? So you can see this is a really cool tool as well. Short, long, short, long. All right, as long as it says long, I'm staying long. Let's look at silver on this one. Let's see what silver is giving us. Hey, we've got a green silver. I like silver. How about gold? Silver and gold. How about Tiffany's? Let's get the jewelry on there. Tiffany's, I think, is just in Germany now. It was bought out by, what was it? Not Courvoisier, but what's the other one? Coach. What's that one? Coach. What's the one that bought them out? What's the one that bought them out? Do you guys remember? Tiffany's was bought out. How about Burke's? Burke's is another. No, not Brooks. BGI. This looks like it might be ready to pop. They just had earnings the 23rd. This is lower float, I believe. 4.32 million. I might watch this one. Set an alert for this crossing up 221. Jewelry and gold and silver. All right. Have you looked at SENS already? No, I have not. Let's check it out. And we'll look at LV. Oh, it's EMA crossover, ASIF. So SENS, I don't know why I did that. So SENS has been moving to the upside, had a big reversal here, hitting the moving averages, might continue down, has earnings on March 4th, so next Thursday. So maybe they're going to take this back down until earnings. Maybe it's going to come back down to $3 and then surge up from there. Louis Vuitton. Thank you, G-Trade. Oh, it's Louis Vuitton, right? Oh, it was Hennessy. Did I say Hennessy? There we go. They bought out Tiffany's, and it looks like this is setting up for a potential bull move up, actually. We had big volume back here. It's just run up since then. And Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy. There you go. So if this could break up above there, interested, has higher volume this day. How about this day? If it closes up above over here, 654, might look at that as a support, but for now it's broken below it, so would look for this to hold at 646. It's holding right now, so would watch that and see. All right, GSAT. Let's look up GSAT. And then I'm going to have to go and take care of my hair and head out for the next awesome, cool live stream. You guys are going to love that. Yeah, LVMH. Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy. So GSAT surged up, pulled back, surged up, pulled back, bouncing. Looks like it had a bit of a short squeeze and has earnings tomorrow. I do not like to hold through earnings, up to earnings and after. So this could have a nice day trade left in it still. Let's see what it looks like on the shorter term. It pulled back. It's bouncing. It's up above. I'd watch this to break above 215. Personally, that's where I would look to potentially enter. It is just grinding up. If I got in here, I would use 197. I would have a very tight stop right there below, or 196. All right. Boeing broke out on a wedge on the yearly chart. Do you think there's more upside? John, I do think that likely the airlines are going to continue to move to the upside because of the stimulus bill. That's why. We're seeing Raytheon, Boeing, Embraer. Bombardier just had a hack, so I don't know how they were affected. But I know Embraer as well is moving to the upside. So all of the airlines, the airline sector, it's like the green energy are dropping and the airline sector rising. So there's always money flowing, right? I'm going to wrap it up for today, guys. So I thank you for joining with me, and very soon I will be going live from a special location. So stay tuned. I'm going to go and get dressed, do my hair, makeup the rest of the way, and get dressed for the big reveal coming soon. You guys are going to be blown away. All right. I'll see you guys later. Have an amazing day. See you at 3:30 as well for Ticker Talker live stream, the roundtable. Carpe Profit sees us